Don't y'all want to dance?
Where's the music? Me either.
Hey, 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 hey. Hey, hey. Son, you know how to put it in?
Yes, ma'am. Hey.
Send it back, Sean. Send it back, V.
She's doing the octopus.
Really?
Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. On Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, all social media platforms. It's Thursday night. It's 7 o'clock. And you know what time it is. It's the Unleashed Voice Talk Show. It's Unleashed Thursday, baby. And we in this thing. We in this thing.
Yes.
My little. Whoop, 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 whoop. So we got a really good show lined up tonight. So I got two special guests with me tonight. We're gonna be chopping it up. We're gonna do a little deep diving into this intimate conversation. So I have with me in the lab the doll. I love your wife, Sean the Doll Clemens.
Hello, Facebook world. Hello, hello, hello.
And I was able to solicit her sidekick, her BFF. We got V Caprice in this thing tonight. So she gonna help us have this intimate conversation that I wanted to have with some of my good Judys, my girlfriends tonight. I'm gonna go put on my T-strap dress so I can be dressed like that.
Go ahead.
Y'all do me all the time now. Hold up now.
Go ahead.
So if you are tuned in with us, we want you to share this video with your friends, tag us, because this is going to be some transparency, some vulnerable moments, just some good empowerment, just talking to two strong women about life and just things I think that it's important that will help somebody that's listening to us tonight. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give my guests an opportunity just to introduce themselves. I'm gonna pass the mic over to V Caprice first.
Okay.
She'll pass it to the doll, Michelle. Just introduce yourself, V.
Hello, everyone. Okay. I don't know where should I look at you, Gwen?
Look at your camera.
Okay. Hello, everyone out there. My name is V Capri or Valencia Caprice. I am an entrepreneur / mentor / flight attendant. And I am really excited to be here. I told Sean so many times I wanted to be a part of the Unleashed Voice and just be a part of what they were doing over there. So I was really excited to be solicited last night. And so yeah, I'm just happy to be here. Looking forward to the conversations. I'm looking forward to the groundbreaking conversations that are going to happen. And thank you for having me, Mrs. Clemens.
Absolutely.
I would introduce my plants, but they're over there sunbathing. So that's who I
should want to meet them plants.
Hey, Fred. Now you know I'm about my plant babies. But yeah, so I'm excited to be here.
Okay.
All right. Hello, everyone. I am Rashandra Campbell, aka Sean, aka the doll sometimes. I'm not gonna say shocked to be here, but I watch my wife do this every Thursday, and so tonight I'm actually a part of it. I watch her put up her whole little entire studio. And I'm happy to be on here tonight. I think I'm a whole lot better with the public, with speaking, from listening to her and just, putting myself out there. So I'm like Valencia, my good friend right here, my good Judy. I'm ready for the groundbreaking conversations tonight. I'm ready to be transparent, because a lot of times people look at you from the outside and just think this and think that and think this, and they don't know what you've been through, to be honest. So I'm ready for the transparency. If I get a little too transparent, y'all just do this right here, and I'll be like, okay, let me shut it up.
But you're in a safe space.
Thank you for having me.
You're in a safe space. Nothing is too transparent. You listen, your wife, and you know me. Good friend. You're good.
Absolutely. Sean, I have to like twist her arm, and she just really kind of enjoyed. This is not her ministry, even though she have one. She just don't know. But she just kind of like, defer. And so I was like, hey, baby, I want you to do the show with me, because we always have these conversations on our own. And so we always have these conversations. We deep dive a lot about things. So, I'm just going to get into it. Y'all ready? Let's just go and get into this thing. So what really prompted me to have this show was that I was listening to an interview with Marvin Sapp the other day. And I didn't know that he had walked away from his church. And he sold all his property, everything, and he just left. He turned the church over. And he went into why he did that, and he just said that he was dying on the inside. He did some soul searching, I guess after his wife passed, and he got a new song out. We heard it on Sunday Best, and I didn't know the meaning behind the song, and he explained the song. But what made me want to do this show was that I asked my wife the other night, we were just talking, and I just, that's just me. I'm nerdy like that. So I said, one of my favorite songs and one of my go-to songs is Marvin Sapp, Never Would Have Made It. Y'all know the song, right? Mm-hmm. Gospel music, Okay, so and he talked about that being one of his never would have made it moments. So with Chandra, if you had to play that song doing something, a moment that you was going through and you didn't think that you was gonna make it, what would be one of your never would have made it moments?
Ooh, I would say the year 2017, July. For some people do know, but I was a preschool teacher for 20 plus years. So when I was told that there was going to be no more Idlewild, I was like, what now? I've been here 20 plus years. So I think it was so hard because Gwen, you were out of town, I believe, when it happened. Yeah. It just so happened I had another good friend over here, Mika Ward, shout out to her, that was here when I was given the news or whatever. And so I honestly was like, what am I going to do? True enough, you get your little coins or whatever, but once you get bills, because I do have my own bills, pay my own car note, I do help around the house, hello, somebody, man don't work, man don't eat, hey. So I was nervous. I didn't know what I was going to do. I just didn't know. So I went into a state of panic because I just didn't know. And so I was like, something, yeah, I'll be honest, I had some crazy thoughts. Gwen, you and I talked about that, the crazy thoughts or whatever. But that was my, hey, I'm gonna get through this moment. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna get through this. And what I'm doing now is something totally different. And I will say I was blessed to get a job. And within 3 years, every year I got a promotion. Every year. So it did make me look at myself like, girl, you can do something else. You didn't think you hate computers, but now you kind of love them. Mm-hmm. And it's all good. I'm meeting some interesting people. And I'm the leasing manager.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. We love to see it.
Okay. We'll pass the question to you, Valencia.
So I was oscillating over this question. And what was the moment for me in my life? Actually, I had just turned 18, and I had a very unorthodox upbringing, if you will. Friend, you said something about earlier, you said something about how people think one thing of you and they really don't know. And that's been my story. A lot of people look at me and they come up with this idea of who they think I am, and it couldn't be farther from the truth. So I said that to say, when I was my godparents, my godmother was my school teacher that took me in. And so at 18, when I graduated from high school, well, actually I was 17, I hadn't yet turned 18. I had to find somewhere else to stay, for lack of a better way to put it. And for me, you know, having been in my first home that I ever had growing up, that was so hard for me when, you know, we sat down with our pastor at the time to have this conversation about where I was going to live next, because she was newly married and her husband never wanted to marry someone with children. And for me, well, for him, in his eyes, I was her child. So I had to find somewhere else to stay. And I didn't know where I was going. Luckily, I had a strong church family that kind of stepped in, and then I was hired on UCA, so I was a professional cheerleader. So that afforded me the opportunity to travel for the summer. But that was so hard for me. And I have often revisited that moment in my life because I literally did not know what I was going to do. And I'm of the belief that just because you turn 18, you're not an adult. You don't suddenly get it all of a sudden. And so society has done a crazy job of saying that at 18, you're an adult.
Mm-hmm.
No. So you're expected to have all of these answers and know what to do. And here I was, 18, having graduated from high school and did not have a home to return to anymore. And all I know is that every moment that I experienced, my first semester at MTSU, everything that I went through, every corner, every place I turned, I know now as a 36-year-old woman that God kept his hands on me. Mm-hmm. When I did not know, I simply had no idea where I was going, what to do, how to get there, when I was supposed to go. I had no idea. And so I often revisit that moment now and realize that God has always kept me. The Bible, there's this scripture, one of my favorite scriptures. It says, touch not mine anointed and do my prophets no harm. And I read the Bible like I read any other book, and I take from it what I take from it. And that's one of the scriptures that has always stayed with me. And so now I know every moment that I experience where I'm like, I never would have made it without God, in the back of my mind, deep in my heart and in my soul, I know God's hand is right there on me, and I'm going to get through it. And this too shall pass, because it always does.
I know. So the reason I asked that question is because I've had like friends or people that I know, that, their spouse or somebody close to them committed suicide. And so Sean came home from work, and one of her contract employees committed suicide. So, and that did something to me, because people will often think when they're in a situation or a financial crisis or a breakup, or they lose a house or they lose a job, they don't see no way out, and they just often, they out of options, and then they grab that option. So I sat down and we talk, and I tell her, there is nothing, right, that bad that's the option, because whatever it is, we gonna always get through it. If we gotta sell everything and live in a box, guess what? We still gonna make it through whatever it is that you're going through. And don't ever think that losing a job or getting fired or going bankrupt is the end of the world. So, I think it's important that people hear that, because a lot of times our value and our self-worth is often tied up into that identity, that we work so hard to get, or I don't know how I'm gonna make it. You're gonna make it, like you said, because you've always pulled through those crises. And I think everybody have had never could have made a moment without God stepping in or sending you the help that you need. So I thought that was important. So V, you got that board behind you, and Sean has an affirmation wall in her bathroom. So for people that don't know why you all have these things in your house, or when they come in or they see it, Rashandra, I want you to talk a little bit about why do you have almost 380 affirmations in your wall bathroom? Not that I counted them.
I think you did.
Wow. That's a lucky guess.
I think you counted them. Honestly, my affirmations, they help me. Even like if I get up when I get up in the morning getting ready for work, it's always like a particular one I might just focus on. And then sometimes I look at them and I'm like, what was I going through at the moment to make me write that? And I've had company and they go in and I'm like, no, they're not in the bathroom that long. What are they doing? And they'll come out and they're just in amazement, like, wow. Even when my parents come over, my dad, he goes in there, he just likes to read them all. I think he has started him one, he just hasn't told me yet, but I think that he has one now. But they help me. They, even when I'm feeling, because we all feel a little weak and we all feel a little dark sometimes. And honestly, they help. If it may be something, Gwen, I go in the bathroom and stay forever, but sometimes I am just reading my affirmations. They help. Not only do they help me, they've helped you, Gwen. They've helped people that I've seen people go in the bathroom and they come out, a little water in the eyes. It's okay. But I'm gonna start charging y'all. But it's okay. But they just help. They help. I mean, even, especially when you're getting ready for work or whatever, because you don't know what kind of day you're gonna have. You just don't know. They give that extra push.
What about you?
So I definitely agree, and I have been to you all's homes several times, and I have been caught up in the bathroom just reading some of those. And so for me, my wall, when my guests come over, they have to sign the wall, and they have to sign it with something intentional. And I have had a chalkboard wall for the past 9 years. And it's a part of my aesthetic. It's a part of my home. And I read those messages often. And believe it or not, they actually help me through some days. Like right now, I'm a flight attendant facing being furloughed, with the pandemic. And I can come here when that dark cloud is looming over me and lie on my love seat or on my sofa and just read what my friends, what my tribe has said on my wall. And I can always find something that reminds me that, hey, it's all good. Sean, you have quite a few messages on here, and I love it. And one of them, the very first one you wrote, I remember when you wrote it, and I remember what I felt. But you wrote, "You, my friend, can do anything your heart desires," and that's one of the ones that I look at daily. So I definitely believe in words of affirmation. I believe in being intentional with your words, because you just never know. You never know the silent battles that people are going through. And so somebody can be at your house, turning up, having a good time, and go in the bathroom, and they going through something, and they come out delivered or with hope and excited about the next step because they've read something. So that's what my wall is for. I've had some of my homeboys try to come over and just write whatever, like so-and-so was here. No, listen, I know you were here. I invited you. I don't want to see that on my wall, sir. So it has to be a very intentional message. I think the only person that got away with writing something that wasn't intentional was my best friend Virginia. She wrote "Get rich or die trying." Just like, okay, sis, whatever. But yeah, so
I think that's
one last thing, your wall, your motivation wall or whatever it's called, it has definitely helped me.
That's good to know.
So,
That's the good news.
it's our prayer room.
And you know I love your wall because I come over there all the time. I'm like, I gotta write something. Just let me write something.
So I'm gonna pull one off of the wall. Okay.
Okay.
So one particular one that's on the wall that for me about Sean, and I think it's so important that people always put that out in front of them. She has one that says, "Never lose Sean again. Never lose Sean again."
Mm-hmm.
And what does that really mean? And so for somebody to say, never lose yourself again.
For me, speaking for myself, when I say never lose Sean again, I will never lose my joy again. I will never just stop being Sean. Sean is a person that Sean has a very serious side. Sean has a very playful side. Sometimes I think I'm a little too playful, but I can
Sean.
even it out. Huh?
Little Sean.
Little Sean. Yeah, that's little Popeye Sean. You're right. But I will say I was once it makes me think back because I was once in a relationship where I lost Sean. I dressed like the other person, like the person wanted me to dress. I couldn't wear tennis shoes. I had to wear heels 24/7 and blah, blah, this and blah, blah, that, So it makes me say, even like when we met, I will not lose Sean again. Mm-hmm. Sean likes to have a good time. Sean likes to entertain. Sean, I'm just not going to lose Sean again. I cannot do it. Because once you lose yourself, it's hard to find yourself again.
Yeah.
You have to rebuild yourself back up, starting from your toes on up. You have to rebuild yourself. And it's hard. It's hard. And then that you weren't yourself for a minute because you have little triggers. And those little triggers can make you be ready to snap because you're like, wait a minute, you're taking me back. Hold on. Because that's what, that's what I had to do then, whatever. So with that being said, I refuse to lose Sean again. You either love me or you hate me. Either one. I'm fine either way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Valencia, what does it mean to you when you hear never lose Valencia again?
Really, just to echo many of the things that Sean said, to be so okay with yourself and in acceptance of yourself that no matter what the situation is, no matter what the person brings to you, you vow to not lose yourself again. And for me, never losing myself means not to allow myself to be triggered by people, to be triggered by situations, or if I am feeling triggered, to recognize that I am and to do something different. Because I feel like that I have been met with a lot of challenges to see what I was going to do. And Sis didn't always win. She didn't always prevail because they got what they wanted. But then there have been some times where I've been like, you know what? This is all too familiar. Let me do something different, And so for me, never losing myself means always remembering that nobody's actions are a reflection of me. Your stuff is your stuff. And I just happen to be around for it. but it's not a reflection of me. Your actions are not a reflection of me. And even in Discord, that has nothing to do with me. The way you respond has nothing to do with me. So never losing myself again means never going back to that place, that low place where I responded in a way that is not really my character. Because I really am all peace, love, perspective. Let's go blow bubbles, sis. Let's go ride our bikes and fly kites. And
I have to say, don't forget your bubbles. Let's go blow the
Those
bubbles
are
in the car.
bubbles.
That's you.
you know, and so
Yeah.
that's what never losing myself again, never losing hold of being Peter Pan, just living a good, expecting the best out of everything. And you know what, that has got so hold of way longer than I should, because I chance after chance after chance, and then I just be like, yeah, so you're crazy, and so let's not. That's what, never losing myself again. I want to be Prosecco bubbles and Piccalillis for the rest of my life and winning the lottery.
So it's real easy, for that to happen, because a lot of times when we get into intimate relationships, love get us into that twisted tangle of feelings, and we often get wrapped up, into who we're dating. But I think that that's a safe place to rest if you already know that it has happened. Like you said, this is familiar, and you can recognize the demands, the commands, the restriction that the person is placing on you, and kind of wanting you to be something that they're not. So I think, going forward, it's really important in relationships, because if you do, like me and Sean, we talk a lot of times, and and people, it shock people when they hear you say, Sean cannot make me happy. Sean adds to my happiness, right?
Absolutely.
Sean does not make me whole or complete me.
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, if we break up, then that means she took me all of that with me, and then I'm like Humpty Dumpty. So I'm happy with Sean, but it's important for me to own my happiness, my own happiness, because there are some things inherently that she can't give me that I have to work through on my own, and vice versa. And we understand that I have to come in as much part of being healthy and whole as I can. And I think it's a spectrum. We go up and down. We never stay, because things come on in our life that will disrupt, that. And then the support from the partner and all that adds to that in that. And I think you all are doing really well, because Valencia, you the baby in the bunch, as far as, like being younger and, going through things.
Yeah.
But I think that you have a good introspection about what it is. And, I've watched Sean grow so much in these 11 years since we've been together. And so I think, hey, I think you guys are like really doing well. So let's read some comments. So a lot of people saying that your wall is really has helped them, and they typing never lose myself again, because I think it's important that people understand that. And I think that we've all been down that road. We've been the fool. I think I've been a fool 3 or 4 times.
I've been a fool, honey.
I've been a fool. Let's see the last.
Like, what was the song? Everybody plays a fool. Yes.
I'm fooled out. Hey, I'm fooled out. I'm fresh out fooled. Okay. I cannot.
I have a great question. My next question.
It's Valencia's turn to go first.
Okay. So what, when you hear the word, okay, this is a trigger word, friendship.
Ooh.
Friendship. What does that mean when you hear friend? You are my friend. Is it loosely or does it have meaning to it? What does it mean,
Honey,
Valencia?
let me take a sip on this.
So it's definitely not loosely with me. And because I have a very unorthodox, tribe. Like I said earlier, my godmother was my school teacher that took me in. My friends, I have some very close friends, okay? But they're like my family. They have keys to my place. They are on my life insurance policies. They are my emergency contacts. They're my person. So for me, friendship, that's not something that I take lightly. And so when I hear the word friendship, I hear tribe, because that's what I call my people, my tribe. I hear family. That's a hybrid word. I made it up. Friendship. And I hear accountability. One of the biggest things that I have to have in my friendships, any relationship, but speaking of my friendships, is accountability. We're going to call each other to the table, because friendship is another relationship. And so oftentimes we hear the word relationship and think lovers like you and Sean. No, a friendship is a relationship as well. And it requires responsibility. I'm responsible for you and you're responsible for me. If not, then let's not call this a friendship. Let's call this, we go out and have drinks together and turn up. Let's call this
friends.
We kiki girlfriends.
We kiki girlfriends.
That doesn't work for me. So if I call you my friend, I have expectations of you to be there for me as I'm there for you. Call me to the table because I'm going to call you to the table. Sean and I have been friends for a while, over a decade, a great period of time. And in our friendship, we've had to call each other to the table quite often. But it's more like, friend, you know, you did this or you said this and it made me feel like this. But at the end of the day, I know right now, one of the people who I can call if something were to happen to me, because we're in close proximity, I'm going to call you guys first because you can get me. But so that's what a friend to me. If I can't call you and say, hey, I need you. Hey, I'm feeling low. I'm vibing low. Hey, water my plants. Or hey, I need you to pick me up my car. If I can't call you when it really counts, and if I can't learn from you and grow from you and sit up and have conversations like last night and leave the conversation feeling enriched, feeling like I'm leaving better than I came, then let's call this what friend?
Kiki friends. Kiki friends.
We can have a look.
Kiki
hey
friends.
girl, let's have a shot. Because my friends, that's my tribe. And I hold space for them and they hold space for me. And that's my expectation. So
what does it mean to you? The
friendships. Whoo. First of all, I don't use the word friend very loosely. I don't understand how some people can call everybody their best friend. Some things I just don't get, but that's not for me to get. I think that a friendship, you have to nurture a friendship. You can't always, friendships, you have to be each other's cheerleader. You can't always be the cheerleader for your friends. They have to cheer you on too. You know, I think that friends have to be supportive as well. Point blank period, treat me the way I treat you.
Yeah.
Simple as that. If I'm cheering you on, if I'm calling you, checking on you, check on me sometimes. Check on me sometimes. I put this on Facebook some weeks ago. Don't always be the friend that's checking on everybody. If you're a real friend, check on your friends sometimes.
Check on your friend.
Now, I have to put you in a category. Either you're a friend or you're a kiki friend. And there's nothing wrong with being a kiki friend. A kiki friend is somebody that you just, like Valencia said, let's go have a drink, girl. You know, whatever. And we're going to sit there and we're going to kiki and we're going to laugh or whatever. But that friend. Huh? Say
I'm here
what?
and your friend.
Right, right. Because we can be serious. We can now let's be real. Now me and Valencia, we don't always see eye to eye.
Yeah.
We do not always see eye to eye, and both of us are very stubborn. But anyway, let me stay on track here. Just being that real friend. I cannot do the sometime. Either you're gonna be my friend or you're not. I did that back in elementary. You know, are you gonna be my friend or not? Check yes or no. I'm grown now. I can't do that. So I treat my friendships, you know, really like a relationship.
Yeah.
Because you have a relationship with your friend.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's not about talking every day. You don't have to talk to your friend every day. You do not. But you can still just checking on you, how you doing.
And you know what, Sean, that is so accurate, because when you're going through something, not all the time do you want to talk to your mate about it. You know,
Right.
You want to talk to those people that maybe were there before your mate, but somebody that you can just release it all to and just be. And so my friends, like, that's a big part of my life. My friends are a huge part of my life. And I've had situations where people don't understand that because they don't come from that and they don't get
right.
it. And
right.
So, like me and you, you know what's going on, girl.
And then some people just don't know what real friends are because they're not used to having real friends.
And then they don't know how to be one themselves.
I think you had said something really important that's kind of like a segue into my next question, because I think this relationship with Sean has been probably the one that I've experienced the most growth as a woman, as a partner, and as a person. You know, it was built really on trust, in from day one. And you're absolutely right, Valencia. I have my own friends, and Sean has her own friends, and there are things that me and my friend will take to our grave.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it was vice versa. And I like that Sean has her own friends. You know, I do. And I'm sure she liked that I have my own friends. And you are entitled to privacy. People get that so like screwed up in relationships. You know, you entitled to privacy. I don't want her to have to confide in me. She is my best friend, by the way, still. But she don't have to confide in it's some things she don't want me to know. And I'm okay with it. Yeah. And it's things that I talk to Faye about and Terry about that I would never talk to Sean about. You know, and it's not that I can't. It's just that that's what we talk about.
Because that's a part of maintaining your individuality. Because while there is a such thing as a Gwen and Sean, there is just a Gwen and there is still just the Sean. And so oftentimes people confuse that in relationships. Hey, I'm still my own individual self. And so I think that people need to afford people the space to continue to thrive and be themselves. You know what I'm saying? So you should have your separate relationships and you should have your separate relationships. But hey, like me and Sean are friends. But guess what? Me and you build a rapport. We have a rapport based on that. And I tell Sean all the time, I love your wife because she's an extension of you. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it should be. But it's not my expectation that Sean tell you everything we talk about.
No. Because Sean, she entitled to her privacy. And we established that, like, long in a relationship. Like, she know every code to my phone. She know everything. She already know what the 4 codes gonna be. She already know, like, if you need to get in anything, and I do have my phone locked, and it's not locked from her, just in case I lose it. And I use my little thumbprint. I use the technology on my phone, so I keep my phone locked. But if my phone ringing, Sean won't answer my phone. If her phone ringing, I won't answer her phone. I say, hey, your phone ringing. You know, you want me to get it or bring it to you or whatever, because that, I think, is just trust. And I don't think I should have to. You know, I don't. And so, what, when you hear the word love, what does that word mean to you? Short, we'll give y'all about 2 minutes each. Melissa, you might want to turn some light on. You're getting a little dark in there.
See, I was wondering. Okay, let's see.
What does it mean to you? There you go.
Love, something not to be afraid of. I think
like
that's
that.
something to not be afraid of. When you just kind of feel vulnerable, you kind of like just let it go. Just let it go. You just don't be afraid of it. You don't run from it. You just it's a feeling. It is a pure feeling. That's how I feel. You just don't be afraid anymore. You kind of like, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm gonna let my inhibitions down. It's just, I'm gonna let the barriers down, let the wall down. I'm just gonna let everything down.
How did you know? How did you know?
First of all, how did I know what? How did I know what?
When you love, how do you know when it's upon you? How did you know?
Oh, it was just, I can't explain. It was just like a feeling. It was like a freedom.
Okay, freedom. All right.
Yeah, it's a freedom.
Cute. That's cute for you. I like that.
Yeah.
Valencia?
Okay, what is it? What's that?
Love. Love. So you're single, right?
I am single.
You're single. Okay.
Her number is so. Anybody listen?
I am
And
single.
there is I'm gonna let you answer your question, then I'll add my little 2 cents. So when you hear that word love, what does that mean to you?
The world. It means the world to me. So love for me is first respect of self, respect of person. It's safe. Love truly. I don't like to say real love because I feel like that means that there is a fake love out there. So just a safe space where you can just be. You're
At peace.
At peace. And you know what? At peace, even in discord. Like we may be having a disagreement, or I may not be feeling you, but the love is yet present. That's love to me. It's just, it's my drug. I'm in love with love.
Love is beautiful. And a lot of times you hear people, especially in an intimate partner relationship, and they talk about how hard relationships are, and, marriage is hard, and bless you, baby.
Bless you.
And thank you.
And, then you have somebody come along and say, well, that's not my experience, in this particular situation. So I think it's like we make a buffet. You go to the buffet and you eat what you need, and other things if you don't need it, you leave it there. And I think it's important that the individual in a relationship make it work for them. You incorporate things into it that works for you. Because like me and my wife, believe it or not, we never hardly ever fight.
I can believe that. I can totally believe that.
Like, now the thing is, we kind of know each other triggers. And I kind of know when I'm getting on her nerves, and she kind of know when she done got on my nerves. See, I'm real sensitive.
Oh, very.
I'm very sensitive. Oh, she can say
Very.
something. Oh, don't talk to me like that. So, and
See, that's me. Sis, can you put
Sean,
the in words?
yeah, she talk with her eyes. She'll buck her eyes like, and she won't say nothing. But in what I'm reading, like going across here, look, girl, you better go on. And I said, "What I'm getting on your nerves?" Because it's usually me. It's usually me that started. When because she is like so laid back and mild mannered, and she's so easy to get along with. So it hasn't been hard for us to live together, be together, make decisions together. And I never had this in a relationship. And I think that, for you, V, in the singleness and then coming into a joint relationship with somebody, it is a partnership. And like last night, she asked me, we were talking, we had this intimate conversation last night. And Sean said, what made you get tired? And want to get yourself together. And so, I gave her my answer. And, and it's kind of like coming up and for you into when you meet somebody and that person and you think that it's the one and you want to work through it, through those, the hills and the valleys, because it's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And if you're doing the work on yourself, you'll be better prepared. And then you can offer, add value to them, because I can tell you, like for us, we've changed from 2009 to 2020 when we first got together. As individuals, as couple, we've changed. But the change hasn't been drastic. Oh, wait, I'm looking at you. Has it?
No, I'm not.
Friends somewhere else. She present. It's all good. Yeah.
Yeah. So we kind of come around. This is my last question for you lovely ladies. As women, people often think that we're strong. And, we kind of had this friend in the relationship be the strong one in our friendships, in the relationship with our family member. And so a lot of times, like you say, check on your strong friends.
Yeah.
What is your go-to source for inspiration when you need to be filled back up and get your cup full again?
It's hot in here.
Who want to go first? You got the fan on?
Rashandra.
I'm okay. It's not plugged up. I'm trying to stay focused here.
No, plug it up. You got time. Let her get some air. You go first, V.
Okay. What has been my go-to
source of inspiration when you need to be filled back up? Your cup running empty because you done gave and poured into everybody. What do you do to fill yourself back up? What is your source of inspiration? What's your go-to source of inspiration?
It's spiritual work, actually. Friend, remember the other day, day before yesterday, actually.
Yeah.
I answer or text back, and I said I was doing some spiritual work.
Yep.
I have learned that my tribe, they have lives too, and so I try not to put so much on them. And so it's been myself, it's been my own resilience, it's been my own indomitable will, it's been my own strength to pull myself through, because at the end of the day, I know I have an amazing tribe, but I can't fall back on them completely. I can't allow myself to fall and collapse completely, and that my tribe is left to pick up all those pieces. So for me, my go-to is myself, my own resilience. So the other day I laid out, I did, I have a ritual that I do, and it involves a myriad of things that have always pulled me through. And I was just alone. I didn't answer a phone. I just did spiritual work. I did the things that I needed to do to get Valencia back to remembering and knowing, hey, you got this. This too shall pass. Everything is always a lesson. And I did what I had to do. And that is so interesting you asked that, because literally day before yesterday, right, friend, I was like, I just doing spiritual work. And I was laid out in my floor on these parquet floors, honey, crying out, running, breathing, meditating, inhale, exhale, all my stones, my smudge, my Palo Santo, Kirk Franklin playing everything, Reiki music, all of the above. Because I needed to, whatever it takes, I needed to build me back up. So the God within me, that's my go-to.
Did the planes run too?
I'm trying very hard to watch what I'm saying, because this is passing all over the place. You know.
Okay. I'll get back serious.
Come on, friend. Yes, sir.
My go-to, a lot of people probably don't know. I mean, they may know, they may not. I don't know, but I do love gospel music. So that is my go-to. Gwen knows I love me some gospel music. And it's certain songs that can minister to me. You know, and it's certain songs, if I'm listening to them, I'm in the car, because I on the way to work, I listen to my gospel music. And now when I get off, I might be listening to my trap music or whoever. But on my way to work, I'm listening to my gospel. Listening times before, not even just on the way to work, just period. That's what I want to hear. I kind of want to get out of my car and just take off running, run around the car or whatever. So I would definitely say gospel music is that's my go-to. Certain songs can just be like, you know, I'm like, that song was made for me. They singing that song for me. It's for me. I don't have to hear something. And it's just, I got to express to Gwen. I don't have to hear a pastor sometimes. I have a playlist. On my playlist, I probably got more gospel songs than all my other playlists. You know, so it's gospel music for me. That's my go-to. That's when I can release. If I need to cry, it's okay. Some people like, you know, when you cry, you just a cry baby. No, I'm healthy. Because crying is a release. I'm releasing. And sometimes you may not even know why you're crying, or it's just a release. Everybody needs a good cry.
Yeah. It's a natural reaction, a natural reaction in the body. And to me, it's a sign of strength. Like,
right, because sometimes you can just think back to a situation, or you can just think back. And that song, you know, hey, I will take off running now. You have to catch me.
You have to catch her, honey. She gonna run into traffic.
No, because for real. So when I was in Dallas, I had an overnight in Dallas, and I hooked up with the Gilkeys, and we were out to eat, having a good time, and they were playing some gospel music. It kind of came on. I was in the back seat crying, ready to take off. And Felicia just started praying, and that felt so good. Like in that moment, that song, like we were literally having a great time, turning up, enjoying. And that song, I think it's called Big, but like you said, like it made me want to take off. It was ministering to me in a way, and then she started praying, and I'm just like, oh, this is God, because God can be present even in turning up.
Absolutely.
And that's another thing right there, Valencia. Then we're gonna hold on one second. My napkin.
Go ahead.
That's another thing right there. When you have friends that can, you don't only turn up together, but you can also pray together and praise together. It matters. It matters. Don't just call me to go, you know, have my margarita, you know.
That's why we call them what we call them. But what you just said, that's exactly what I said to the Gilkeys. After I stopped crying and came to, I sent Felicia a long text, and I told her, you know what? Thank you for being a vessel. Because had been drinking. We just left an amazing restaurant in Dallas, and we were headed to see their new house that they're building. And I started crying because the song was doing it was, because sometimes your friends go through stuff that they don't tell you about. And that song was speaking to me. And that baby just started praying. And when I tell you I wanted to hop out of that car and just run, just because
you should have, girl. You should have just took off.
We were driving, but when the spirit of God, when the presence is there so thick and heavy, and you just want to run, it's like, God. So yeah, and that's what I told her. I said, thank you for being bold and courageous enough to be there for me in that capacity, because she could have just been like, we've been drinking, we turning up, and kept it on. That baby stopped and started praying, and we do that, friend.
Yeah.
It matters.
It does.
It matters.
Absolutely.
It really does. Like, for real.
It matters. Because ministry is a big part of our lives. And so it's been different trying to adjust to not being in the sanctuary or being in the assembly of church since March, since COVID shut everything down, and then we're doing everything virtually, and maintaining your commitment and everything. And so we've been faithful, to the ministry still, even through virtual worship. And so Sean, we pray together, we shout together, we cry together. I have to catch you, hon. I have to catch you.
We get happy feet.
I love to see it. I love it.
You got jokes.
Let me find out y'all be over there shouting like good night.
So I think it's important, that because like I was talking to Sean, I said I wanted to do this show. I wanted, we sit down, because at first it was just gonna be us, and just having like an intimate conversation, just meet the Clemenses. And so I think, you added value to the conversation tonight, to hear, because we never get out front and do this. And we always like talking about what's going on in the world, with the political climate. And we all know that that's going on, but I think everybody need a break. You need something to have balance to talk about, because every channel you turn on, they're talking about Trump and all the crazy stuff he's doing, and the Democrats and Biden and Kamala Harris and the election, and everybody going crazy right now. So I think it's still important to understand that nothing happens, under the sun, and that God is in all of it. God's hand is in everything that's going on. And I also think that it's important for us to understand that no matter how much we resist what's going on, it really ain't nothing we can do about it. So the best thing you can do is learn how to thrive and survive in it, because COVID-19 hasn't been bad for everybody. Some people it has, some people it hasn't. But you still got to learn how to live and survive and thrive, and to also keep your mind. My mom always say that she pray to God all the time to keep her mind and her sight. That's what she said the other day. Pray to God to let God keep her mind and her right mind, and to keep her eyesight. So we're going to get her hearing aid because she can't hear us. So I said, you forgot something, Mom. But I think that's important, because they say that the next pandemic is going to be mental health. People stressed out because of what's going on.
Yeah.
The pandemic. So I have really, really enjoyed roundtable discussion with y'all. Did I not ask something y'all want to talk about? Is anything y'all want to throw out there that I didn't?
Are we gonna go ahead next Thursday too?
Actually, I'm glad you said something, because we got a new project that's being funded by Gilead, Relationship Unleashed, and we're launching a 4-week series. It starts next Thursday, called The Roots. And to kick it off is going to be Dr. Daniel Black. So y'all better get ready, because it's going down next Thursday. Then after that, we're going to have Dr. Arisha Bowers coming in. And then that Thursday after that, we're gonna have me and David, and then closing it out is gonna be Dr. LaCara Foster. So we're going to be talking about dismantling the culture of white supremacy and tying it into the subtle things that we take and see every day and don't realize how it been transplanted into our lives to create barriers and to deny us access to certain livelihood as people of color and African-American communities. So Dr. Black is going to take us back to the Afrocentric roots before colonialism and how we lived in a village and how we value the village, the tribe, community. We're going to dismantle Christianity a little bit. You know, a lot of people can't handle that. So we're going to emphasize the need for family structure and friend structure. So I'm looking forward to this project. So as soon as it's over, you definitely can come back, sweetie.
I was just about to say, so then after that, me and Sean can come back.
Right, so after the series, can we come back?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. We can do that intimate conversation.
Dr. Sean and Dr. V.
So
yeah, without the licensure.
Is there anything you ladies want to add? What you want to say to a young lady watching? I got a good one. Then we're gonna wrap it up. Okay.
Okay.
So Sean,
okay.
What would you say to 20-year-old Sean right now? If she could come in and y'all could sit across from each other and talk, what would you say to your younger self?
Ooh.
To my younger self, if we were sitting here talking, honestly, I would apologize.
Okay. You gonna apologize?
I would apologize first.
Okay.
On one note, I would apologize and say, some things I just didn't take seriously. Some things I just didn't take seriously. And I do apologize. Because where would we be right now? But it's okay. Mm-hmm. On another note, I would say job well done as well.
Very good.
Because I have been on my own since 17, 18. And when I say on my own, just always have my own place. I had to get out there and just, get it, be grown, whatever. Like Valencia, you mentioned earlier about being 18. And it was just, I didn't get put out anything, nothing like that. This is a whole other story. We don't have time to tell the story. Nothing bad happened. Let's get that understanding. But I would just say some things I should have taken more seriously. Mm-hmm. But on another note, I will still come back with job well done. Okay. That's it.
V. So 36-year-old V get to meet 18-year-old V. What would you say to her, or what do you think she'll say to you?
Ooh, 18? We're gonna go with 18, not 2. Okay. 36-year-old V
right now.
Tell her right now. This too shall pass, and you got this. Trust yourself. Mm-hmm. Keep going. It's inside of you. Yeah. That's what 36-year-old would tell 18-year-old Valencia. It's all inside of you. Keep going. Mm-hmm. Indomitable will. Insurmountable. Press through. You got this, baby. High five, sis. You got this.
I'm not gonna leave it right there, right?
Huh?
I said I'm not gonna leave it right there, because what I want you to do now, okay? Because what 36-year-old V do, and what 43-year-old V Sean do, in 10 years you're gonna meet 46-year-old V, and you're gonna meet 53-year-old Sean. So what you do right now is going to impact her. Mm-hmm. So you got to make sure that you do everything you can to put her in the best position you can, so that when y'all meet each other, she can thank you. She can thank you. I told that to Ken, and we had a date because he was just going through at 18. So we meet every 5 years.
Hmm.
And so that's the projection, because what you do, you got to set it up for your future self. And a lot of times we don't realize that, how important that it is, and so, and it's also important not to take God for granted,
Mm-hmm.
So these are every day have to count. If that's so serious, not really. Because if you continue to live and time pass, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So be good stewards. I have enjoyed you ladies, and I hope you all have enjoyed this conversation. It's dinner time, Mrs. Clinton. So we thank you all out there on Facebook land for hanging in there with us and tuning in and your comments. And we hope that the broadcast of this show or something that my fabulous guest said tonight added value to your life. Or if it didn't, you can also always hit us up and we can try to get you some answers and talk. But we will have this intimate conversation again. I thank you to my lovely wife for being my guest tonight. And I thank you to the lovely BFF V for being my guest. I appreciate you all so much. You got something to say?
I do. Once again, Valencia is single. Her number is 777-9311. You're welcome, friend.
I hear you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we gonna get you hooked in.
You know what? I'm actually ready though. I'm ready. I've been single for quite a while.
We gonna make you the bachelorette of the month.
Yeah. I've had some situationships, but I'm yeah, let's do it.
Thank y'all.
Woo! Peace out, everyone. Cheers. Are we still on? That was fun. I'm gonna drink one.
We keep Davian off the show tonight.
Where is he?
Girls only. Who rule the world? Girls.
Girls.